there was a huge 22-wheeler truck that people called the Princess of the Clouds. It was not like ordinary trucks. Its colors shined brightly, and at night its lights sparkled like stars. On the back of the truck, beautiful words were written. The roads may be long, but for the brave, nothing is impossible. The truck was driven by a hard-working driver named Nauman. Nauman stayed away from home for many days at a time. Sometimes he traveled through dangerous mountain roads, sometimes lonely highways, and sometimes through heavy rainstorms. But he never complained, because he knew that his hard work helped many families earn their living. One stormy night, heavy rain was pouring down. Lightning flashed across the sky, and the road was almost empty. Nauman was driving his 22-wheeler loaded with goods when he suddenly noticed a small bus broken down on the roadside. Women and children were inside the bus. Everyone was worried because the night was very dark. Nauman immediately stopped his massive truck. People were surprised that the driver of such a huge vehicle had stopped to help them. Nauman stepped out into the rain, checked the bus, and then took out a towing rope from his truck. Slowly and carefully, he pulled the bus all the way to the nearest city. The children became happy again. An old woman raised her hands in prayer and said, "Son, your truck does not only carry goods, it carries humanity as well." Nauman smiled and looked at his truck. In the falling raindrops, the words written on the back of the truck looked even more beautiful. Whoever makes life easier for others, Allah makes the roads easier for them. A few years later, Nauman became very famous. People from far away recorded videos of his 22-wheeler truck. But Nauman was still the same humble man. He always told every new driver one thing: a big truck does not make a man great. A big heart does.
On a long highway, there used to travel a beautiful truck named Shaheen. It was not like ordinary trucks. Written on the back of it were beautiful words. When the roads become difficult, increase your courage. The truck was driven by a hard-working man named Salim. He was poor, but very honest. He traveled day and night so he could give his children a better life. One night, heavy rain was pouring down. The road was deserted, lightning flashed across the sky, and darkness covered everything. Salim was driving his truck carefully when he suddenly noticed a broken-down bus standing by the roadside. Women, children, and elderly passengers were standing there helpless and worried. Many vehicles passed by, but no one stopped to help. Salim immediately stopped his truck and asked, "What happened, brother?" The bus driver replied, "The bus has broken down, and there is no help nearby. The children are terrified." Without thinking twice, Salim took out a strong rope from his truck and decided to tow the bus to the nearest city. The rain was getting heavier, and the road was dangerous, but Salim kept driving bravely. After several hours, he finally brought everyone safely to the city. The passengers in the bus became emotional with happiness. An elderly woman raised her hands in prayer and said, "My son, today you proved that humanity is still alive." Salim smiled and looked back at his truck. The words written on the back of the truck were still shining through the rain. Destinations are not only made on roads, but also in people's hearts. After that night, people no longer remembered only the Shaheen truck, they also remembered the humanity of its driver. In a small town, there was an old yet beautiful bus that traveled every day. The name of the bus was Journey of Hope. Every day, it carried people from one city to another, but the most special thing about that bus was the sentence written on its back: "Don't rush, life is still ahead of you." Whenever people saw the bus on the road, they would always read that line. Some laughed at it, while others paused and thought about it deeply. But there was one boy whose entire life changed because of it. The boy's name was Hamza. He was always in a hurry. Riding his motorcycle at high speed, breaking traffic signals, and trying to get ahead of everyone else, these were his habits. He used to say, "In life, the one who moves the fastest is the one who wins." One day, Hamza was speeding on his motorcycle. Ahead of him was the same old bus. As he came closer, he read the sentence written on the back: "Don't rush, life is still ahead of you." He mocked it lightly and said, "Those are just words for people who are afraid." He tried to overtake the bus, but suddenly a fast-moving truck appeared from the opposite side. Hamza panicked. The bus driver immediately applied the brakes to save him. Hamza survived by only a few inches, but his hands were trembling with fear. He sat down on the side of the road. Once again, His eyes stopped at the sentence written on the back of the bus. Don't rush, life is still ahead of you. For the first time in his life, he realized that a few moments of hurry could end an entire lifetime. From the very next day, Hamza had changed completely. He started driving carefully, giving way to others, and advising everyone. Human life is more precious than reaching the destination quickly. A few months later, people noticed that Hamza had written a sentence on the back of his own motorcycle too. Safety is life. And whenever he saw that old bus on the road, he smiled at it with respect.